You can activate the quantum field and magnetize what you want to experience just through the use of your mind and your body. And in this video, I'm going to explain how that works and how to do it. The law of attraction is a universal law that states that all energy that's projected out via thoughts, emotions, and actions is mirrored and received back as the physical experience. This law states that something will be attracted back to a person based on these things. But there's another law that directly relates to the law of attraction that might be more important than you think, and that's the law of reciprocity. Reciprocity means reciprocating, requiring a mutual dependence on, and as a result, influencing some other being or force. Simply explained, the law of reciprocity determines what that something that is attracted back is based on what energy is given out by the individual. Therefore, our dominant thoughts, combined with corresponding emotions and corresponding actions, determine the events, conditions, and circumstances that are reciprocated back and experienced in our lives. And of even more significance than these things is the law of reversibility. This law states that all transformations of force are reversible. For instance, if heat can produce mechanical motion can produce heat. If electricity produces magnetism can develop electrical currents. And if a physical fact can produce a physiological state, then a physiological state can produce a physical fact. In other words, if a situation or event can affect your emotional state, then an emotional state can affect situations and events. As Neville Goddard stated so beautifully, if you knew how you would feel were you to realize your objective, then inversely, you would know what state you could realize were you to awaken in yourself such feeling. Because all transformations of force are reversible, you should always assume the feeling of your fulfilled wish. Basically, emotion is the end product of an event. If you can bring up the emotion of the end product of an event you would like to experience and repeat it over and over again, you begin to activate the quantum field to magnetize what you want back to you. Let's dig a little deeper to discover how this works and how to do it. The thoughts that you think are an electrical charge in the quantum field, and the feelings that you feel are the magnetic charge in the quantum field. The two of these things combined broadcast an electromagnetic signal that influences what is manifested in your life. Simply put, the thought sends the directions out while the feeling draws the equivalent back. But when it comes to manifesting what we want, we often think of these things in terms of them being in the future. For example, if I do these things, then I can have these things. So then we wait for the experience to occur to receive the emotional equivalent or the feeling that we're hoping to achieve from the experience that we desire. But the law of reversibility shows us that we can create the feeling that we're hoping to achieve first, and then create the experience that matches that in our physical world. In other words, we don't rely on the experience to change our internal state. We change our internal state to create the experience. And this closes the gap between what we desire and the experience of that desire. So you must become a new version of you in the now moment. From this space, new opportunities become attracted to you. And you do this by separating what could be called the old self from the new self that you're creating. You can use your consciousness to observe the old self and any old thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that didn't work for you in the past, and then make the decision to change those old behaviors to reflect the new version of you that embodies the new state of being. This effectively creates a personal Wi-Fi signal where your desires are in the now moment so that you become magnetic to those things and draw them into your life. Let's reverse engineer the process. When you receive something favorable in your outer experience, you feel gratitude, happiness, love, or any of the other joyful feeling states. These feelings indicate that something favorable just happened to you. And your mind and your body know this. These are elevated states of emotion that create very real chemical reactions within the body. For instance, elevated states of emotion turn down your sympathetic nervous system, which is best known for its role in responding to dangerous or stressful situations. And it enacts the parasympathetic nervous system, which is a network of nerves that relaxes your body after periods of stress or danger. Furthermore, your parasympathetic nervous system provides energy for growth and repair. When this is enacted, the immune system goes up and the body heals. So if for no other reason than to calm the body and trigger growth and repair, elevated emotions are a wonderful component to a healthy life. So back to how this works. When we change in the present moment, our energy changes. If we don't change, our energy also doesn't change. To use the law of reversibility to magnetize something from the quantum field, we must create a new lens to view reality with and new emotional states to match that. To do this, you first have to dissociate from your physical life, or at least the aspects of that physical life that are not desirable or favorable to you. Then you become very clear on what you want. This is your intention for a new manifestation. Once you have your intention in place, find a way to match your emotional state to that intention. For most, going within their mind and daydreaming about their intention will create the matching emotion, as long as they stay centered on that daydream. These two things combined begin to sync your mind and your heart center. And the more the emotions inside of you become altered as you do this, the more you begin to relate to the image that you're creating in your mind. As you keep practicing this, your brain will take the cue and freeze this frame and create a snapshot of it, making it a memory in your brain. It then becomes a part of you. So the goal is to go beyond your environment, body, and time a few minutes each day to surrender and connect with your vision. When you do this, you're connecting to the quantum field, supreme intelligence, the higher self, God, or whatever you choose to call this energy. And this is the creative energy that has the ability to move through you when you're in this state to connect fully with you and completely change your life. When you create these daydreaming or visualizing states, do them in the present moment with no regard to the past or future. This actually creates what would be referred to as your future in the present moment. It changes the program of being an unconscious victim of your environment to one of being a conscious creator. In other words, it creates a vibrational match between you and your vision, which through the law of reciprocity will create feedback in your physical environment that matches this. It's also a great idea to move throughout your day with this vision in mind and try to remain consistent with thoughts, feelings, actions, and behaviors that align with the vision. When implemented properly, nothing in the outer world will trigger you because you're creating from the field of infinite possibility and potential, rather than trying to create matter from matter. And it's the infinite field of possibility that governs the particle. Matter doesn't create the infinite field. This infinite field creates matter. So when you connect with what you want in the infinite field of possibility, you change matter in your physical life. To simplify this process, I'm creating a meditation of it so I can guide you through it, and I'm going to post that next week. And once that video and meditation are available, I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. The bottom line is that the goal is to be in love with your vision and bond with it to the point that no one and nothing can remove you from it. Be present with it from the inside out and make the future now. And be certain that when you do this, it's a magical and synchronistic experience, not one of being as though it's a chore or something that you have to do to get what you want. You genuinely become in love with your vision and enjoy it on a heightened emotional level for what it is. This is how you activate the universal field of innate intelligence. You can use the physical body to acquire physical things and experiences, but it's a much more efforted type of creation. But when you use this process with dedication, you allow the expression of universal intelligence to run through you and amplify what it can do in your life. Innate intelligence wants to express itself through us in abundant ways, but we must allow that to happen. And everyone can do this. It only requires a little bit of training of the mind. So the big questions are, do the images and emotions you carry with you now belong in your future? And if they don't, can you begin to change them today by no longer allowing outer circumstances to control the way that you think and feel? It's wonderful to have the knowledge, but we must apply it to see a new result. It takes a little practice to get beyond your circumstances by getting beyond yourself. Master your meditation, vision, intention, imaginal acts, and energy. Master your language. Master your emotions. Master your reactions. Master your routine. In other words, master yourself, and then you will master your reality.